If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it.
So, how's school?
It's boring. Got better things to do.
Stay in school, kid. Stay in school. Otherwise, you're gonna end up like me.
This is great.
I think like all kids, in a way, are like Spider-Man when you're little. Like, there's something about him where you're like, oh, he's a kid like me. He's a kid like me. He's a kid like me.
It's gonna be really cool.
Hello everyone and welcome to Studio Confessions. So here we see Jacob Batalon on the set of Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man. Peter-Man. That's all me. Am I fired?
And that's exactly how the atmosphere was on set. Now we aren't here to discuss Ned's character. In fact, we're here to talk about how director Jon Watts was able to capture the core personality of Spider-Man and bring it out on screen.
That is my whole attitude towards this film. I mean, that was the reason for creating Spider-Man in the first place in the 60s, was to give another perspective on this world of superheroes, to show what it's like if you're a regular guy at the ground level of this universe. That's what Peter Parker is, and this film gets to show a side of this crazy superhero universe that we've never seen before.
Now, before any big budget Hollywood movies, the first live-action Spider-Man movie came out in 1977. The movie was made for TV and was called The Amazing Spider-Man and starred Nicholas Hammond. And let's just say it was pretty rough by today's standards. Now, throughout the 80s and 90s, Marvel really wanted a big Spider-Man movie. It even got to a point where James Cameron, the man behind Titanic and The Terminator, wrote a very dark but gritty Spider-Man movie. But due to lawsuits and money drama, the movie never got made.
I have no interest in directing a comic book film. I was very interested in Spider-Man, but that was a unique thing. I had a personal, love of Spider-Man, and then that ground has been so, kind of well served by other people.
So when all of this chaos finally settled down, Sony got the rights to Spider-Man. Sam Raimi was then brought on board, and then we got Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire in 2002. After that, we got Spider-Man 2. Then Spider-Man 3, and we were supposed to get Spider-Man 4, but by January 10th, Spider-Man 4 was officially dead.
We're just in the midst of the process, and we have a lot of great stuff in terms of story and script, and we're just trying to dial it in and get it ready as quickly as possible.
That was Tobey Maguire just a few days ago talking about Spider-Man 4, which is no longer.
Now in between this time, we got Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Peter Parker.
Okay, good.
Then, only after 2 years of playing Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield was out and Tom Holland was in around 2016. Now, a very interesting thing happened here. First of all, Tom Holland's Spider-Man was now with Marvel, and instead of hiring some big name director to create the next Spider-Man movie, Marvel brought on a guy who goes by the name Jon Watts. Now, as mentioned earlier, Jon Watts was not known for big budget movies. In fact, he directed a movie called Clown, which came out in 2014, and it was a horror movie. And it's a story about a dad who finds a clown costume in a house that he's selling. He then puts the costume on, only to then find out that he can't take it off. This is how he got to direct this movie.
Well, it actually came to me as a fake movie trailer that just appeared online about 5 or 6 years ago and said it was directed by me. And it was a movie called Clown, where a guy puts on his clown suit. And everyone started calling me, and my email was blowing up, and people were saying, like, and this before social media, really, so I couldn't quite dispel them. It was like only MySpace pages, so It was hard to track down the guys who did it. Of course, I did, and I called them up and I said, I love it. Do you guys want to actually turn this into a feature? And it was Jon Watts and his writing partner Chris Ford, and they said, thank you for not suing us. And I said, no, this is Hollywood. We only sue after things are successful. There's no point suing you guys now. You don't have any money.
Jon then directed a movie called Cop Car, a very small thriller about two boys who end up stealing a cop car. So after proving that he had range by directing a horror movie and then a thriller movie, Jon felt like he had what it takes to take on Spider-Man.
I really
did not think I was ever gonna get this job for almost the whole process. And even throughout the course of the production, it felt like at any moment, just the like crew of prank people were gonna come out from behind a curtain or something and be like, oh, by the way, this is not real. Because that would have made more sense to me than to be directing Michael Keaton or Robert Downey Jr.
Now in Spider-Man Homecoming, Peter Parker isn't out there because of revenge or trauma. He's already Spider-Man when the movie begins, and what really drives him is the excitement of being a part of something bigger. So when we're talking about the essence of Spider-Man, we're not just talking about his ability to stick to walls, his superhuman strength, or his intelligence. We're talking about what really brings him to life. And that's something that Jon Watts fully understood.
One thing I wanted to make sure we captured in Homecoming was how exciting it would be to be 15 years old and to have these amazing powers, you know? And Tom brings just like this irresistible enthusiasm to the character, and it's just really fun to watch. I mean, because I wanted the movie to be fun, you know, and I wanted to, instead of immediately hitting people over the head with the weight and responsibility of what it means to be a superhero, which is a big part of the story, I wanted to start from a place of enthusiasm.
One important thing that Jon did while directing this movie is he allowed his actors to improv, thus capturing how a real person would act in that moment.
You'd just be like, well, what would you say in this situation?
And then this time, just forget all the lines and just talk a little bit about whether or not you're going to get paid and if you've gotten paid yet.
Okay, cool.
Action.
You guys gotten paid yet? Direct deposit.
Cut. And we cut.
You can clearly tell that everybody behind the scenes was having fun with this movie, and that's what made the movie so fun to watch.
Hi, I'm Captain America. Whether you're a student or a soldier, there's one thing that will always give you an edge: a hot lunch.
Thank you, Captain. I'm pretty sure the guys warm here now, but because of that.
The great thing about Jon directing this movie is that he could fully relate to Peter Parker.
I can especially relate to Peter right now because in the movie he's been given this amazing opportunity by Tony Stark, and he's just trying really hard to prove himself so that he can become an Avenger and not screw up, and that's exactly how I feel at every moment making this movie. So I think there's this universal idea behind Peter Parker just being a regular kid that you can always relate to.
So, Marvel took a huge gamble by hiring someone that only did about 2 movies, but it paid off. And because Jon was sort of inexperienced, kind of the way Peter Parker was in the first movie, he was able to fully understand Peter's motives, his ambitions, his character flaws, and he was able to accurately translate that to the big screen. At this point in his career, Spider-Man wasn't motivated by, with great power comes great responsibility. He was simply just a kid having fun with his newfound powers. Anyway, that's it for the video. Do you think Jon captured the heart of Spider-Man and put it on screen? Let me know down below. I'll see you in the next one.